History class taught us about wars, kings, and revolutions, but what about the blood flowing through those royal veins? Rh-negative blood. It's one of the greatest medical anomalies in modern science. It's rare, it's unexplained, and it's not supposed to exist the way it does. So why is it quietly found in ancient lineages, among isolated tribes, and hidden within royal bloodlines? From the Basque people of Europe to the pharaohs of Egypt, this strange blood type traces a pattern no textbook dares explore. And while mainstream science shrugs it off as a mutation, others say it points to something far more ancient and possibly not entirely human. This isn't just science, it's history rewritten. And if you've never heard of it, that's by design. This is history they don't teach. And today, we're exposing the forgotten story of Rh-negative blood and asking the question, why has this been hidden from the history books? Segment 1. A scientific mystery hidden in plain sight. In 1937, scientists made a discovery that quietly rewrote the way we understand human biology. While studying blood transfusions, they found that blood wasn't just classified as type A, B, AB, or O. There was something else. A protein later named the Rhesus factor, or Rh factor. Most people have this protein. They're considered Rh positive, but a small percentage of the population, roughly 15%, don't. They're Rh negative. And that simple absence causes problems that science still struggles to explain. When an Rh negative mother is pregnant with an Rh positive baby, her body can see the baby as a foreign threat and begin producing antibodies against it. In some cases, the mother's immune system will attack the baby's red blood cells, putting the child's life at risk. This condition, known as the hemolytic disease of the newborn, is a dangerous complication that seems biologically unnatural. Even more puzzling is where Rh-negative blood is found. It's not evenly distributed across humanity. Instead, it clusters in very specific populations, like the Basque people of northern Spain, who have the highest percentage of Rh-negative individuals in the world. And to this day, no one knows exactly where the Basques came from. As scientists dug deeper into the mystery of Rh-negative blood, more questions surfaced. Why does it behave like a genetic anomaly? Could it be the result of an ancient mutation, or evidence of something even more mysterious? Then maybe the story we've been told about our history and our biology is missing a very important piece. Segment 2. Myths, Legends, and the Rh-negative connection. Science may offer explanations for Rh-negative blood, but history and mythology tell a different story. Across cultures and centuries, there are recurrent legends of beings who came from the sky, gifted advanced knowledge, and interbred with humans. From the Anunnaki of Mesopotamia to the Nephilim of biblical texts, these stories describe non-human entities whose bloodlines were preserved in the ruling classes. Some researchers have noticed a curious pattern. Ancient royal families often claim divine ancestry, and many of them, particularly European monarchs, are documented carriers of Rh-negative blood. Coincidence or inheritance? The pharaohs of Egypt, the Merovingian kings of France, and even segments of British royalty have all been linked to this rare blood type. In fact, the obsession with pure bloodlines in royal and noble circles may not have been purely symbolic. It may have been rooted in the preservation of something very real, very rare, and possibly very ancient. But the mystery doesn't end there. Some believe that Rh-negative individuals tend to possess unusual traits: higher sensitivity, stronger immunity, lower body temperature, and even heightened intuition or psychic ability. While science remains skeptical of these claims, they persist across testimonies, studies, and anecdotal reports. Could these traits be echoes of an ancient lineage? And if so, what was the origin of that lineage? In a world that emphasizes common ancestry and evolutionary unity, Rh-negative blood raises a difficult question. What if a small portion of humanity didn't entirely come from the same source as everyone else? Segment 3. Suppressed Science: What the Medical World Won't Say About Rh-Negative Blood. For decades, the medical community has classified Rh-negative blood as a minor anomaly, something that requires careful monitoring during pregnancy, but otherwise isn't cause for alarm. But behind closed doors, researchers have acknowledged what few are willing to say publicly. We still don't fully understand it. There is no agreed upon path for how or why Rh-negative blood appeared. It doesn't follow typical patterns of genetic inheritance, and it doesn't naturally emerge through known mutation processes. In fact, some geneticists have suggested that the Rh negative gene may have appeared suddenly and without a clear origin. Despite its potential significance, mainstream research into Rh negative blood has remained surprisingly limited. Funding is scarce, questions are brushed off, and when alternative researchers or independent scientists raise new theories, they're often dismissed outright. Why? Some believe the answer lies in the implications. If Rh negative blood didn't come from a common ancestor shared with the rest of humanity, then it raises uncomfortable possibilities about human origins. Possibilities that challenge not only science, but history and everything we've been taught about who we are. There are even whispers, quiet but persistent, that advanced governments and military agencies track Rh negative individuals. While no mainstream evidence confirms this, some believe it's tied to long-term genetic research or secret intelligence programs. If this sounds far-fetched, remember, governments have long been involved in genetic experimentation, often decades before the public ever finds out. So the question must be asked, is Rh negative blood just a quirk of biology, or is it a secret key to something larger? Who are the Rh negative? Where did they come from? And why has their story been left out of history? Maybe Rh negative blood is just a rare biological trait, or maybe it's a message, a genetic whisper from a forgotten past, buried beneath textbooks, ignored by mainstream science, and protected by silence. History doesn't just repeat itself. Sometimes it hides. And when it comes to the truth about our blood, maybe it's not history that's missing. Maybe we are. This has been another episode of History They Don't Teach. Until next time, stay curious, question everything, and never stop digging. Today's episode topic was requested by subscriber Letitia Childers. Huge thanks for the great suggestion. If there's a topic you'd like me to dive into, I'd love to hear from you. I always aim to bring you the most engaging and well-researched presentation possible. Just leave your request in the comments, and it might be featured in a future episode of Rock Solid TV.